Beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome everybody to the Power Hour. We're getting ready for Wedding MBA today, and I know so many of you are excited to head out to Las Vegas next month. It is so hard to believe that Vegas is already around the corner, right? In just a couple of weeks, we'll all be heading out to the Wedding MBA, one of the largest wedding conferences here in the United States. Here, on behalf of Venue Help Desk, we are so excited to be able to help those of you that are first timers. I know we saw a lot of you mention in the chat that it would be your first time at Wedding MBA, or maybe it's your third time, fourth time. You're a seasoned pro, you've been many times. We wanted to put this opportunity together for all of you venue owners, operators, and managers to get together ahead of the Wedding MBA so that we can maximize our experience together. For those of you that aren't familiar with Venue Help Desk, we are a resource for wedding and event venue owners, including resources that allow you to use easy to use tools to attract quality customers. We have proven programs to help you convert more bookings. And then we also have an amazing directory of vetted professionals that will help you optimize your operation. So a little bit of more about each of us here at the Venue Help Desk. I'm going to start with an introduction of my husband, Paul. Paul Petty is a former marketer with an extensive career actually in banking and healthcare. He worked for Capital One and Houston Methodist Hospital for many years. And then I brought him over to the dark side at our business, Madera Estates. We are a family-owned wedding and event venue in the Houston market. We've been in business about 13 years, and he's in charge of everything from sales, our vendor relationships, all things biz development. And he was vital in increasing our tour conversion rate from 20% to over 40% on a regular basis. So I'll give a little kudos to him as his boss, as I can tell him he's doing a really good job at the venue, Madera Estates. But he's also a little fun tip. We have a few fun tips about each of us as well. He is a trained Disney performer. He worked for the Mouse for many years in the college program, and he likes to consider himself a Disney adult. A little bit about Miss Shannon Tarrant, who gave us a lovely welcome as everybody was joining our webinar today and the Power Hour. She is a venue coach and mentor for over 10 years, and she's the former wedding and sales marketing manager of the Mission Inn Resort out there in Florida, increasing their sales 300% in less than 18 months. Now, outside of her experience in the venue space, she also owns a wedding venue directory in Orlando called the Wedding Venue Map. And so it's a directory for wedding venues and event professionals out in the Orlando market. And she wears a really interesting hat because she hears a lot of what the venue owners need. But then also on the other side of the map, she's also hearing a lot from the brides and grooms, right? What are their pain points? What are they struggling? So she's a really great resource for us here at Venue Help Desk. Shannon's also a foodie and a cat mom. Shannon, is our lovely cat there today?
Oh, she's here somewhere. She will make an appearance, I'm sure of it.
She's roaming around. She's roaming around. And then lastly, you have myself. My name is Ian Ramirez. I am the co-owner of Madera Estates. We're a multiple seven-figure wedding venue, again, here in the Houston market, right here in Texas. I'm also a Wedding Pro educator, and I'm a Houston Business Journal 40 Under 40 recipient. Fun fact about me, I am a formerly trained opera singer. So those of you that know me well, I have sung a few times here and there. Most recently, I did a little serenade out at the Wedding Pro experience in Palm Beach this year with Mr. Alan Berg. So you might hear me sing every now and then if we find a piano in a hotel lobby. So we're going to jump right in. I hope you're ready today. Drop in the chat how excited you are for attending the Wedding MBA next week in Vegas. Again, we're here today to help you maximize your experience at the conference. We're going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can make a plan. We're going to give you a little bit of insights on some sessions that you should attend. We're going to invite our special guest, Mr. Tom Chalednik of Wedding Pro, to give us a little preview of what's going to be happening in the Wedding Pro booth. And then we'll wrap up with some final do's and don'ts while attending the conference. Are you ready to jump right in? Again, drop in the chat if you're ready to jump right in, and I'm going to head things over to Mr. Paul.
All right, so this is I was thinking back about this fifth year to attend Wedding MBA. And what I'm going to go over with you today are huge key tips that personally that I use, especially on that first and second time I went to Wedding MBA, because it is daunting. It is a big event. So hopefully through today's sessions, this will help take some of that stress off of you, especially if you're a first timer. So review the schedule. The schedule is lengthy. There are a lot of things going on over the course of the conference. Also very venue specific things that are going on. So those are some other items that we want to point out today. So you really want to focus on what is important to you, what you want to get out of the conference. The first step is review that schedule. We already have the program for the 2024 Wedding MBA. If you'd like right now, just go ahead and scan that QR code. If not, they will have this provided for you at the conference. But again, you want to really prepare before you go. So this will already kick you off for that. You also want to identify sessions that will help you achieve your goals. Remember, there's going to be people like florists here. There are going to be chair rental people. There are going to be social media people. You really want to understand who's going to be there and how that is going to be really beneficial to the information you're going to bring back to your venue. So again, be thinking, do you need to attract quality customers? Do you need to convert those leads into bookings? Or do you need to optimize your operations? Remember, there are going to be sessions that focus on all of those items. So know what you need to get out of this conference. Also, create a personalized itinerary. This really became important when we started bringing our own team to Wedding MBA. We have a team of two coordinators that get really excited about attending. They're both in their early 20s. They want to know what to wear, where we're going to eat, not just only the sessions, but what are we doing while we're there over the course of the week. This is a sample itinerary I created a few years back that now has become custom to what we do, customary of what we do here at Madeira Estates. Very helpful. So you're going to be also attending sessions. Your team may be attending sessions, and y'all may not be attending the same things. So this itinerary helps line out goals for them, but also talking about what you're going to be doing in the evenings and the mornings too. So get them really well prepared. A lot of times this is your staff's first time to travel too. So get them prepared so you don't have a nightmare when you arrive for Wedding MBA with lack of information. Also, huge expert tip, save your sessions in your phone. So take that itinerary, go through it, find out what is going to be beneficial to you, and then put it in your phone, put it into your calendar. Use your technology to really navigate this. You're not going to always have that program in your hand. Another tip is even take that QR code once you open up the site, go ahead and bookmark it in your phone. I feel like the entire time I'm there, even though it may be in my calendar, I'm constantly looking at what's next, especially as I'm going to the next session. So be prepared, but use that technology to do so. Also, one thing that we've noticed over the last few years, there may be changes to those schedules. That is normal. And when I say that, it could be like a change of a room. So just really be double checking every day of what changes were made. Wedding MBA is really good about having volunteers relay that information, direct the guest to those rooms if those rooms have been changed. But again, you want to go ahead and prepare ahead of time so you don't have to lean on those volunteers to direct you. Why plan ahead? Again, we just mentioned this. You want to prioritize those sessions, especially the ones that you want to get the most benefit out of, because not all sessions are going to relate to you. So make sure you're still thinking ahead on that. Avoid having to make last minute decisions. You don't want to be going out of one session and then trying to find the next room or trying to decide, do I go to this or do I go to that? You're able to do some research even about those speakers before you attend Wedding MBA. and then know where you're going when. I do find the convention center is easy to get around, but it's a lot of walking too. So you really need to be thinking through timing. Make sure to wear those appropriate shoes too, especially women. Do not bring stiletto heels for this event. You will be exhausted and your feet will be hurting. This is another expert tip. I witnessed this 5 years ago, and we do not joke around with this now about beating the crowd. You want to get your badge early. This is a huge slide for everyone. So if you haven't already seen the list of when you can pick up your badge, pick it up as early as possible. What I see newcomers do a lot is they wait about an hour before the first session, and then they arrive to the convention center and there's a line that's wrapping around the building. You don't want to be a part of that line. It causes anxiety and you may miss a portion of the session. And that session may be one that you really wanted to attend. So again, look at the schedule and plan ahead. Don't wait till the hour before the first session to pick up that badge. You will thank us later. And bonus tip. This is really cool. So especially 5 years ago, as I was getting into the venues, I didn't know who was who. It can be daunting. There's a lot of people there. And so I want to network with the correct people. I want to talk to other venues. So just know Wedding MBA does provide a lanyard that is venue specific. Make sure you get that lanyard. Don't just get a lanyard and walk off. Really make sure as you're getting those from the volunteers that you're getting the correct lanyard for being a venue. All right, so I am now going to throw it over to Shannon Tarrant to talk about maximizing networking and some more tips.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, networking is my jam. So I think one of the things that when we go to conferences and all the education, we sometimes miss out on the amazing opportunities to have these conversations with other venue business owners that really sometimes are in your market or in your state. Or, let's say you're a barn and they're a barn. They might have some of the same challenges about some of the agricultural stuff or weather stuff or things like that. So let's talk a little bit about that plan on how to maximize the networking when you're there. The very first thing you need to do is you need to be proactive. I need you to come into this conference with a plan, right? So, a few of my very favorite questions that I have found start amazing conversations. Paul already told you everybody's going to have a lanyard, and that lanyard will all be the same color for venues. So, it's going to be super easy for you when you're in either a general ed session or you come to these venue tracks. It's super easy for you to find the other venues in the room. So here's a few of my very favorite questions that I like to have, not just like, so nice to meet you, tell me about your venue. I love y'all, but like, let's keep it moving so we can make these conversations productive. So here's three of my favorite questions. The first question is, what's the biggest change that you've made at your venue that has an impact? You would be shocked at the things people will share and give you tips and ideas and feedback. And I'm going to copy and paste these and dump these down in the chat so you can copy them over. The second one is, what tool in your business can you not live without? Right? What are the things that you're using that you're like, damn, this is my favorite CRM or our floor plan software or our calendar software and things like that. And the last one is, where do your best leads come from? We know there's a million ways and opportunities to market your venue. So start asking people, not like, oh, where do you advertise or where are you marketing, but have those conversations. Where do your best leads come in from? What are you doing? And then how'd you figure out how to do that? So be proactive with having those questions in the back of your mind, that you're going to finally be in a room of all of these amazing people and other people from even across the world, as you've seen down in this chat and who's here today. You want to make sure you have a plan to talk to people. Second up is to bring your business cards. This is so silly, but the amount of times I meet somebody amazing at Wedding MBA and I'm like, hey, do you have your card? And they didn't bring them. So bring a fat stack, not a little stack, bring a fat stack, shove it in the bag, that you're going to bring along with you, because I think you're going to want to have them. There's also opportunities when you're there and you're walking the exhibit floor to like enter to win. And sometimes instead of filling everything out, you just throw your business card in a bowl, right? So you have an opportunity maybe to connect with the speakers and educators, to speak with businesses you want to, learn more about, and even the venues you want to follow along. So make sure you pack and bring your business cards along with you. Popple is one of my favorite little secret tools that if you've never heard of this, it's like a digital business card. You can order an actual, you can either just have an account on your phone where it's a QR code, but I actually have like a digital, it's like a one card and you just tap it to the phone and it's got all my contact information in it. This is all, I call it my in case of emergency business card. Back in the old days, we used to shove 2 or 3 in the back of our wallet just in case we got stuck without the big fat stack of them. But I want you to know that like this is an easy just in case you want to connect with people electronically. But don't forget the power of the business card and don't not bring them with you. Last up is make a freaking plan to follow up. You're going to meet all these venues. One of the things I like to do is if I connect with somebody before like a session starts and we're having a great conversation, I'll send them a quick email right then and there that's saying like, "Hey, it was so great to meet with you today. My signature's got links to my social and whatever. I'd love to set up a time to continue the conversation afterwards on Zoom or set up a call." Also, go and follow them on Instagram. I know it's a little weird to maybe follow people within your own market, but if you're a waterfront venue and you connect with a cool waterfront venue in a different state, go see what kinds of content and things that do well over on there. So follow their Instagram. My secret tip is to please take a picture of the business card. I lose them. I know that sounds awful, but I don't anymore because I take photos of it. Every card I get in my phone, I take a quick photo, the front and the back. I either email it to myself or it just sits in my camera roll so I can go back and find it. Now, here's a little bonus tip for you that'll make the networking a little more fun. Paul already shared that you're going to have the lanyard, right? That will have the color so you'll be able to see it. But at our venue help desk booth, if you came last year, you probably remember these. We do the state ribbons. So you're going to come by the booth, just let us know what state you're from, and we'll give you a ribbon that you can stick onto your badge. So it makes it nice to be able to connect with different people across the country but also know different people who are there from your own state. So make sure you come by the booth so that you can get your hands on that. All right, next up, let's talk about some key sessions for you to attend. Oh, so many sessions and speakers. If you've took a look at the link or the QR code to all of the sessions out there, during some of the time slots, there's going to be multiples to pick from. So let's run through a few of the like how you can create a plan for this. If you're bringing team members with you, do not go to the same sessions unless it's something specifically your whole team is working on. Maximize your time and your investment that you spend and make a plan to split up and go to other ones. Ask them. I bring 2 of my team members with me every year, and we battle this out a little bit because they like to make their own schedules. So this is what I ask them to do. I suggest that they look through the entire plan and to mark it. We print out a copy for everybody and we sit down and we do a meeting beforehand. And I say, choose your top 2 sessions in each time slot. Then we sit down and discuss, review, and go over them. Because sometimes my job as the owner and the boss and the leader is to guide them for the best session for their growth. Meaning, I love when my social media manager wants to go to the sales session. But if that's one of the only times there's a killer social media session on Instagram or TikTok, she does not need to be in the sales class. So sometimes, I sit down and say to them, like, most of the time they've picked the right way. And other times I'm like, you know what, there's really none in that time slot that's specific to that person's role. So it's a free for all. They can go anywhere they want. But bring everybody together, have that conversation, have that meeting. But you've got to ultimately remember the goals that Paul talked about. Are you trying to attract better leads, convert those leads, or run your business better? So sales, marketing, or ops, what's the most important thing? If there's only one person coming on your team, pick a path and stay focused on it. Lastly, remember, where are you going? If you're the only person on the team coming, this is a little bit easier, but remember your role specifically, and you might overlap if you're bringing 2 people on your team or 4 people on your team. You might be overlap. You might go to some of the same sessions they're going to because that's where you need to be, and you might need to be hearing what the salesperson is hearing. So help them with their schedules first, and then figure out where your best time is spent. Now let's look at a few of the different sessions. Now, the very first day of the conference, the way it all lays out is there's going to be specific timeframes where there's category specific sessions where you'll find venue only, photographer only, planner only, whatever. Now, you don't have to only stay in the one track. You can bop around. Do we suggest it? No, because at the end of the day, that's targeted education specific to your needs. So on the first day, you're very lucky because I'm the first speaker in the venue track on the first day. And my session is all about enhancing your venue tour. Looking at the approach, the most common mistakes that we see as we've been working with all these venues, and there's a lot of repeat oopses that are easy fixes, and a few secret tips at the very end on how to never get ghosted. That's Tuesday at 2 o'clock at the Birchwood Room. Then, not far behind me on Tuesday in the Birchwood Room, which is where all of the sessions are, right? The Birchwood Room will be the back-to-back-to-back venue sessions. So you can, if you're staying, you just go in, find a seat you're happy with, sit down, and you're good to go for the rest of the afternoon on Monday. You've got Ian Ramirez, my partner in crime over there. He's going to be teaching the unopened house, which is all about really like creating alternative ways for you to host an open house that's a little more fun, a little more interactive, like how you're inviting your guests, and really how to use these tools and these events that you're hosting on how to drive conversions, those little baby commitments that they make at those events that'll lead to mega sales. So that is also on the first day. And then, shocker, you get stuck with me again. But later in the week on Wednesday at 3 p.m., I'm going to share all my secrets to success about how to publicize, monetize, and get more reviews. I'm going to give you the exact templates, the systems, how to guarantee your reviews stand out. How do you then use those reviews to get new clients through the door? And really just, ultimately, we know we need them as a business. So that's part of the key of the success of that session. Okay, next up, like I had already said, the venue track sessions are the first part of the first day. But we've got a few other sessions, depending on specifically what your needs are, that we want you to consider. Speakers that we've seen that we know do a great job, helpers that we've already vetted. We know that they understand a venue's needs. So first up is the wedding show blueprint. If you participate in wedding shows in your market, or honestly, if you've ever thought about doing wedding shows or done them in the past and said, they suck and that doesn't work for me, then you should check out this session because Lindsay's got a tried and true blueprint on how to kill it with wedding shows. I've taken her course. It does amazing things for my local directory business. Next up is SEO Spy. Sarah Dunn is the best of the best when it comes to SEO in the wedding industry. So if you've never heard of her, Sarah Does SEO is her business, and she's going to give you all kinds of tips on how to get your website to rank better. And last up is Fact or Fiction. Leah Weinberg is an attorney who lives in our space, previous wedding planner, and now she already was an attorney before she became a wedding planner, but she totally understands the wedding and event industry. So she's going to share all kinds of, common misnomers and things like that when it comes to contracts and the legal side of the business. A few more to keep in mind. Social Circle, Mark Chapman with the I Do Society, he kills it. And he's an amazing speaker and educator. He gives so many tips and so much value and the exact formula of the things he does when it comes to social media and Google Ads. You should definitely check him out. After that is a cheat sheet with Christy Osborne. She is the smartest human being I've ever met when it comes to analytics and tracking and data. So she's got a great session. And then Get a Life with Nora and Elizabeth Shields, the owners of Rock Paper Coin, which is a CRM contract invoice system that you could use for your venue. But they've got a great session. And then the conference itself will wrap up with venue track sessions again. So on Thursday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., there's going to be another 3 sessions that are targeted specifically to the venue track. And but make sure you've got to sit down when you look at that schedule, figure out what's going to be most beneficial for your specific venue, right? It can get super overwhelming. It gets super exciting. If you guys have questions about the sessions, you can drop them in the chat now. We'll kind of circle back around to some of the specifics of things, but let us know, what you need to help. All right, next up, we are going to chat with our friend Tom's up next, right?
Tom's up next.
Will you flip the slide? Flip it over to him. So next up is Tom Cholednik. Now, if you have not had a chance to connect with this man yet, Tom is the face of Wedding Pro out in the community, meaning he's speaking at conferences, local summits, does webinars, education. He's really there to make sure that the companies that are investing in Wedding Pro as a platform, or people who are interested and considering if this is the right fit for their business, his job is to help guide them along the way and really help answering their questions, looking at maybe what they're doing now and how they could be doing it better. So Tom's going to give a little bit of a preview of Wedding Pro, what you can expect from them at Wedding MBA.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited. It's the best part of my day talking to you all. So, like Shannon said, my job is to go out in the community and talk to literally thousands upon thousands of wedding pros a year. My background though is venues are my gig, man. I love venues. I worked for the Knot for 12 years, and then I left for 2 years, and I became the COO of 2 wedding venues here in Florida because I really wanted to know what it was like to what you all do. I also sit on a bunch of board of directors for venues across the country and venue advisory boards. So yes, I talk all categories, but venues are my thing. So please come see me if I haven't met you before. Can we go to the next slide? So the wedding pro, the Knot/Wedding Wire, is going to have 3 sessions there. Tim Chi is as the main stage speaker. He's going to talk about predictions to connect with you with Gen Z couples. As you know, if you've heard Tim talk before, or anybody within Wedding Pro in the leadership side, we're all things data and tech. We create the largest real wedding study in the world. We have so many studies on Gen Zs and reviews and leads, et cetera, et cetera. And we take that information and we slice it and dice it, and we share that with our Wedding Pro community so that you can actually know what to do with it. Like what maybe you should be changing, or what should be changing in the future, or what should you be stopping. So Tim is going to be main stage, 10 a.m., Cottonwood Room. 3,000 people usually show up for that one. So get there early and get a seat so you're not standing on the side. And there'll be probably a little gift sitting at the table at his session. And then there's me. You probably have heard me talk before, but my tagline is, do you have a lead problem or do you have a booking problem? And I'm going to be talking about mastering those lead replies, data-driven tips, what's working, what's not working. We at Wedding Pro and myself are very aligned with Shannon, Ian, and Paul on the proper way to responding to leads. So this is exactly my wheelhouse. So please fit me in. Oh, I'm in the Birchwood room. I wonder if I'm in the venue section. Could be, but I'm in the Birchwood room Wednesday at 3, so come see me. Our last session is with Jenny Lewis. She's our Chief Marketing Officer. Brilliant lady, amazing marketer, fun lady, smart lady. Come see her. And she's going to be talking about getting in front of these couples, a well-balanced marketing strategy plan, exact info where couples are looking for before they inquire. Again, all of our sessions are data-based. We do tons and tons and tons of research and studies, and we bring that to you so you can use that. And she's Wednesday at 4 p.m. in the Ponderosa room. I think I've been in that room before. So as far as our booth is concerned, you're not going to miss us. We will be the biggest booth there. So come see us. There's all types of interactions. I think we have another slide. Yeah. We have a VIP lounge within our booth for all of our advertisers, or those people that are signing up at Wedding MBA, and there's specific swag for you all there. So come see us there. I am bringing 20 account managers and 4 sales managers with me to this year. We've increased that. Last year we were at 16. I'm bringing 20. Because we're going to be doing strategy sessions with you. We're going to look at your website. We're going to look at your storefront. We're going to look at your results, or we're going to ask you questions. You know, how many leads do you want? How many bookings do you want? How many leads are you getting, et cetera. Many strategy sessions. So, and we have that broken up into people that are for new business, people that are existing business. So if you're already advertising with us, please stop by also so we can maybe improve some things. And also share with you all the changes that you probably have seen been happening and continue to happen. We have up to a 30% discount for any new advertisers or enhancements. It's up to 30%, which we no longer have these, 40, 50%. So this is literally the time to sign up if you're going to sign up or do some sort of enhancement with us. And then there is a party. Our party is on Wednesday night from 8 to 11. You have to stop by the booth to get a ticket. Historically, it's first come, first serve of advertisers get first dibs. And we are not sharing where that party is going to be or that theme party quite yet, because what happens is, unfortunately, it's only 600 people get in the door, and there's party crashers and people begging in, and it gets begging to get in. It's very uncomfortable. So, but next week is when you're going to start be seeing all the communications from us on Wedding MBA. So please stop by and see me. Thank you, Wedding Venue Help Desk, for having me. If you have any questions at all about wedding MBA or anything else, or do you have a lead problem or do you have a booking problem, shoot me an email and I'd be happy to set some time up with you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tom. I personally am super excited to come see the Wedding MBA booth, not only as Madera States to do our own strategy session, but y'all always do an amazing job too in terms of like the booth display and the swag that you give out. I
The
mean,
swag is pretty cool this
The
year.
swag is the best part of that booth, guys. Go.
I
Just
know.
The best part of the booth is me.
I'm just kidding.
I love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much again, Tom, and Wedding Pro for joining us today for our Power Hour. Again, if you have questions, you have a knot or wedding wire listing, Tom is your go-to guy. We encourage you to reach out to him at that email address below. He is more than willing to give you his time, the shirt off his back, to help you at your venue. When he says he's passionate about venues, he's not lying. Tom is the go-to. So as we continue talking about maximizing our experience at Wedding MBA, we want to share a few tips on productivity. It's really easy to get overwhelmed while you're at Wedding MBA, particularly for those of you that are coming for the first time. We really want to share ways that you can manage your time and allow you to get the most out of your days while you're at the conference. So a few do's and don'ts. I think my first recommendation is really to, take what Paul and Shannon have already mentioned and decide what topics you want to focus on and stick to it. It's really easy to be that little squirrel, right? And say, ooh, over there, or ooh, over there. Make that plan and really stick to it. After that, my next do is to find a way and have a way to keep your notes organized. What our team personally likes to do is create one group Google folder for everyone to drop their notes into. That way, when you're divvying up, and as Shannon mentioned, maximizing your investment going to these different sessions, oh man, there's 2 at 1 hour that I want to go to. You can see what your other team member is writing in there so you don't miss out on any of those top tips. My recommendation when you do that is really to limit it to 1 doc per session for notes. And then really go back through and highlight any important items or asterisk any items that you're like, oh, this is really important. This is really specific to help the needs of my venue. Another do is take breaks. As I mentioned, there's going to be a lot going on at Wedding MBA. You're going to going in and out of sessions. You're going to be walking that exhibit show floor. Don't hesitate to take breaks to relax, really to regroup and check in on your team back home. There are going to be plenty of hidden areas where there's benches, quiet spaces. You can go downstairs, take the escalators down to the lunch hall if you need to step away and just take a minute to regroup, because it's going to be a lot of information and a lot of overwhelm while you're there at the conference for 3 days. Now, some don'ts. Don't try to do everything. It's going to be really tempting to try to do everything there that you see at the show. You're going to try to see every single exhibitor on the show floor, which I don't recommend skipping out, but don't feel like you're missing out on everything. Don't feel like you have to do every single thing at the conference. We want to make sure that you don't skip out on some of those exhibitors on the show floor. And most importantly, don't hesitate to skip a session if you don't think it's going to wow you. Sometimes I'll go to the schedule that Wedding MBA prints out every year, and I'm like, oh man, none of these are really going to help my venue. Don't feel the pressure to go to a session just because you feel like you need to go to a session. If you feel like your time would better be spent maybe walking the exhibit show floor, taking a break, or maybe taking a business break and following up on emails, I think it's okay to allow yourself to do that. And then lastly, I oftentimes see at Wedding MBA a lot of pros not taking written notes, and they just take photos of all the slides. Now, I'm not knocking any of you if you're a photo taker of the slides. If you're a photo taker of the slides, we want to know in the chat, right? I'm not knocking it, but how many times have you been to a conference? I personally can speak for myself that you take pictures of all these slides and you never go back through them. I really don't find that it's a conducive way to take action on the goals that you're going to be setting for yourself after the conference. I'm more of that pen to paper type of mindset. So you want to think about how the best way your learning style will be for this conference. But again, it is really tempting just to take photos of all of those slides. Now we're going to walk through a little bit of a conference prep checklist, some additional do's and don'ts, some packing tips, things we want to make sure that you don't forget to bring with you to Las Vegas. So some additional do's. I personally love to research all of the speakers ahead of the conference and follow them on social media. That allows me to do two things. Number one, I can learn a little bit more of their business. How can their business help my venue? And number two, it allows me to glean a little more information about them personally and their working style. I can also see their reach in terms of the venues and references that they may be working with. Another do, I love to do this, is ask a friend who's been to a session before that you might be considering attending. If you're questioning whether or not a session may be the right fit for you, feel free to DM us at Venue Help Desk. Many of you are already followers of ours on Instagram at Venue Help Desk. We would love to help you make sure you maximize your experience and point out some sessions that might be able to assist your business. And then lastly, post on social media that you're attending the conference. Number one, I know our clients love to know when we are bettering our services, and professional development, I think, is a really great way to position your venue as the expert, right? We're taking the time to invest to better our business. And number two, how many times do you go somewhere and you wish you knew that somebody else from your local area was there too? Shannon already mentioned that you're going to be able to network with different venues and different business owners across the nation. But how amazing would it be to find a friend that's from your own backyard? And you'll be surprised how many times you post on social media and somebody DMs you and you're like, oh my God, my favorite DJ is here in Las Vegas too. Let's get together for a drink or let's attend a session together. So be sure to share on social media that you'll be attending the conference. Some other do's: research the potential solutions that will be exhibiting. Now, on the Wedding MBA website, if you want to do a little more prep ahead of time, go ahead and take a list at the exhibitors that will be attending Wedding MBA, because this will really help allow you to figure out which exhibitors can help you with your specific problem. And you can come prepared to buy. Always at Wedding MBA, a lot of these exhibitors are going to be offering unique specials just for Wedding MBA that typically you either have to take advantage of the special at the show or quickly thereafter. So come prepared to buy. So researching those solutions ahead of time, again, give you a little more insight on how that exhibitor or service or product may be able to help your venue. And then lastly, sign up for the lists on all those trade show giveaways. There are so many giveaways that happen at Wedding MBA, and I don't know about y'all, but I love to win things. So I always sign up for different conferences. I want to win books. There's a lot of exhibitors that give away free books.
Yeah.
I'm a big reading junkie. So be sure and don't hesitate to sign up for any of those giveaways that you'll find during the conference. Now, a bonus tip, as you're, knocking down your checklist for the conference, I recommend putting together some sort of out-of-office email template that mentions that you're at Wedding MBA, by the way. If you need recommendations, feel free to scan this QR code. I know Shannon's going to drop in the chat our link to our resources. We've got some great out-of-office templates that you literally can just download, copy and paste, edit to make it a little more personal to you or to your venue. That way, when you're out at the conference, all of your clients, all of your vendor partners know where you're at, and maybe you can direct them to visit your Instagram to see a little bit of the behind the scenes while you're at the show. So some items to not forget to pack. I think, as I mentioned, it can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of back-to-back sessions while you're in the conference. You're going to be having about 10-minute breaks, 15-minute breaks in between sessions to walk from one room to another. Sometimes you don't have time to get snacks, so I do recommend grabbing a couple snacks. There's a couple CVS's, Walgreens right there on the strip too in Las Vegas if you want to check out those. A refillable water bottle. There are locations to refill your water bottle at the convention center. That is a really, really good item not to forget. Some other items you see listed here, your favorite chapstick and lotion. It does tend to get a little dry out there, right, in Las Vegas. So drink lots of water, bring your chapstick and lotion. You're going to be collecting a lot of goodies on the exhibit show floor. So bring your own tote bag for the trade show. Comfortable shoes. Paul mentioned that. Ladies, don't worry about wearing heels during the conference. You're gonna have plenty of time to impress at the wedding pro party, right? You'll have plenty of time to impress at those dinners that you'll be attending out on the strip at night. Be wearing comfortable shoes. That's my biggest piece of advice. My team one year wore inappropriate shoes and they were so mad. Bring your portable chargers and cords. For those of you that are laptop users, you're going to be at the conference all day. If you're taking notes, if you are taking pictures on your phone, right? You're going to want to bring those charging cables. There are charging stations typically at the conference where you'll be able to plug in those items to charge those electronic devices. It does get a little chilly in the conference center, so bring your favorite little sweater, dress in layers. Hand sanitizer, always a recommendation as you're going to be networking, shaking a lot of hands, grabbing goodies throughout the conference. And then, of course, most importantly, your favorite notebook, your favorite laptop, your favorite tablet, your favorite pen, however you like to take notes while you're receiving education, don't forget to pack those in your bag before you head out to Las Vegas. Now, oftentimes I find a lot of attendees to Wedding MBA or other large conferences really don't make a game plan for how they're going to take action on everything that they just learned. You're going to learn from amazing presenters and speakers like Shannon just laid out to you. There's some amazing sessions that you'll be able to take away many nuggets on your way back to your venue. And I think the most important thing really above all is to set some sort of action plan, right? So before you head home, maybe you're at the airport, you're on the plane, review and organize the notes that you've taken. You'll want to prioritize any of those high priority items that are actionable that allow you to set clear and measurable goals for your venue. Again, reduce overwhelm. Don't feel like you have to do everything. So you're going to want to make a plan and take action. And Venue Help Desk, we're all about resources. We're all about making your life easier because we know as venue owners, things can be very overwhelming. So we invite you to download this 30, 60, 90 goal setting worksheet. This will be a great way that you can condense your priority learnings from Wedding MBA and make a plan to take action on what you've learned 30 days after the conference, 60 days after the conference, and 90 days after the conference. So scan that QR code. I know Shannon's going to drop again a link into the chat for our resources page where you can grab this and really collect your thoughts after the conference to make that plan of action for your venue. Now, Venue Help Desk will be exhibiting at Wedding MBA. As you can tell, we are a lot of fun, but we're also about giving you those tools that are going to help you attract quality customers, convert more bookings, and optimize your operation. So I want to share with you 3 reasons why you should stop by our booth at Wedding MBA. The first is we're here to help you. Venue Help Desk was born to help venues that have a specific problem where we can help guide you to a vetted solution. So if you're struggling with something specific at your venue, maybe you're just not thinking that the CRM that you're working on right now is not conducive to your business. Come to us and share that with us, and we can point you in the right direction of maybe what CRM can best fit your learning style and your goals. Conversely, maybe you're struggling with seasonal packages. You're trying to put together something to help offset your slow seasons. We're here to help point you in that vetted solution direction, whether it's a program or service offered by Venue Help Desk or one of the many helpers that we've already shared with you today that can help you with SEO, your CRM, floor plans, any of those services. We invite you to stop by Venue Help Desk and we'll point you in that right direction. So speaking of the helpers, we are excited at Wedding MBA this year that we will be giving out at our booth the Trusted Helper Guide. So be sure to stop by booth 2409 to get your own copy. It's a free Trusted Helper Guide for you that will be divided into sections on helpers on how they can attract quality customers, convert more bookings, and really optimize your business. How can we streamline your business? So we invite you to the booth to collect that. And of course, we already mentioned, you got to get your state badge. You got to rep your state while you're at the conference. So that's another reason why you should stop by and see us at the Venue Help Desk booth. And of course, we're pretty fun. We like to have a good time. Number one priority for us, though, is that we're able to point you in the direction of that vetted solution. So once again, we want to thank everybody for joining us today here for our Power Hour exclusively for venues. On behalf of myself, Paul, and Shannon, we want to thank you for joining us today. A shout out to Tom, our special guest from Wedding Pro, for joining us. I know we're going to have a great time at Wedding MBA. We're going to have a great time in Las Vegas. And now we want to turn it out to you in the chat. We're going to open it up for additional questions.
I have all the questions saved.
Beautiful.
Oh,
I
awesome.
knew Shannon would.
Yeah.
So we have some time for questions before we wrap up here today. So Shannon, take us away.
Okay, so the first question was, can we get a hold of this recording? I did drop the link for our Facebook group down and into that is where the recording will live. So we'll put the recording up into our Venue Help Desk Facebook group. It'll go out in an email also after this, link directly to the group so that you can go in there, and that's where that will be. So you can catch that recording after the fact. So that's an easy peasy one. I like easy questions like that.
Yeah.
And then let's see, a few questions about where coming and what are the best restaurants or bucket list that we can visit in Vegas. So why don't we each give one suggestion, and then let's make a list for us to go put over in the Facebook group. So either a bucket list must do or best restaurants to get reservations. There's like a million things to do. So that's part of the problem. So I'm going to give you, I have two favorites. I have two. So one of them last year, our team, we got tickets to the show at the Sphere. And the Sphere was unbelievable. Like, it wasn't like a concert. It's just like a movie. Think like Planet Earth, but in the Sphere. So that is a must do if you can fit that into your schedule. And then my other is head over to the Bellagio. They do this incredible, every season they change. It's completely free at the Bellagio, but they do this amazing floral and plant installation that's all themed to the season. And that's the Bellagio Conservatory. Those are two of my favorites. Paul, what are some of your favorites in Vegas?
Okay, for shows, if you love Cirque du Soleil, you've seen all the Cirque du Soleil, highly suggest a show at the Wynn called The Awakening. We've seen it 2 years in a row. It's high energy, also has a little bit of that Cirque, but also the lighting, the tricks are fabulous. So, and also a good price. It's not a really expensive ticket, and all the seats are amazing in the auditorium. It's in the round. My favorite restaurant, it's a late night dining restaurant. We ate there last year with Shannon. Is it called the Pepper Mill or
Yeah, the Pepper Mill is so
Oh my
good.
gosh.
Oh my God.
It's
So-
a crazy diner with so much food. We
Oh.
love it.
It's great for photos if you want to get some good photos of your trip, but also know that if you're gonna order anything, share it. It comes like their pancakes are massive. So yeah, and it's a Vegas staple.
What about you, Ian?
I'm cheesy. I kind of like Blue Man Group. If you've never seen Blue Man Group before and you like music and you like those guys just like drumming and they're like being silly, that's one of my favorite shows on the Strip. I also love Cirque du Soleil. So you're never going to go wrong with O at the Bellagio, or Mystere, I think is still there, and Caw. Those are some of my favorites. And then in terms of restaurants, is it Javier's that we like?
Oh,
Is it at Aria?
Yes.
It's one of those hotels
Either-
back over there by Aria or Cosmopolitan.
Javier's
Javier's
Vegas.
Javier's is a really good restaurant that I really enjoy.
Oh,
Tom?
Tom, we didn't forget you. What are your faves?
I just have the food thing. So the buffet at the Wynn.
Yes, that's my
Oh,
favorite.
Right? So literally 100 of us will go there on the last night, on that Thursday night, and we call it the silent buffet because we're all so hoarse from talking, we're so tired, but the food is amazing, and we call it the silent buffet. But the buffet at the Wynn Las Vegas, by far the best buffet. And it's not that expensive. It's like $70.
No, but make a reservation because there's
Make a
usually a
reservation.
huge line to
Yes.
come in, but you don't need, you can skip right past the line if you make a reservation for it. Okay, next question. What should you wear? I will handle this one. So listen, I'm from Florida and I live in the world of AC freezing inside and 100 degrees outside. So it won't be 100 degrees outside, but it's warm during the day and they crank that AC, and room to room within the convention center can be totally different. So when we say dress in layers, we mean dress in layers. So have that, like, whether it's a jacket, a sweater, something, if you're a guy, guys and you want to wear like a polo and whatever, maybe a long sleeve shirt, but dress in layers so you can take on, add off. You will see everything from people like dressed to the nines because they care about what they look like all day long and they're in like fancy business profesh to like athleisure. So what you wear, just remember that you're meeting people that could potentially help you support your business. So I always say like business casual, business professional, what would you wear on during a tour at your venue is the best way to suggest what you should be wearing at Wedding MBA. Oh, Ian, this one's for you. Did you have a template for the itinerary for staffing?
Maybe we can get it ready. We do
We
have one.
literally, as we made these slides, we're like, oh, we probably should have
So we have one. Yes, just throw it in there. We'll get it up together for you.
We'll put it up in the Facebook group. What
Yeah.
we'll do is we'll more or less just create a link where you can make a Canva copy of the one that already exists. It's the one from last year. You can just make a copy of it and design it as you want to. We're not going to make any changes. We'll just pop it into the Facebook group.
Yeah, we'll pop it in there. Y'all can edit it. Absolutely. So that one that we shared earlier, that Paul actually made it. So we'll share that for everybody, and you can create one for your team.
And we have a car version too, if you're driving.
Yes. If attending the conference as a venue planner and you want to attend both sessions, which lanyard do you recommend? Oh, just get both. The lanyard doesn't mean which sessions you're going to. It just allows you to connect. So if you do more than one thing, get each of the colors, and then that way you can, when you're walking around talking and connecting with people, it'll make it a lot easier for people to know that you do more than one thing. And I'm dropping the Facebook group link in right now because I know you guys are asking for it. Okay, we'll be coming in hot Tuesday. The conference have a place for us to store our luggage if we come straight from the airport? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to. I know that they do on Thursday. On the last day, they usually have a place, I think, to put it if you need to fly out directly from the conference. But I don't know about if you come in on Tuesday. So I don't know the answer. You're going to want to email probably Chris at Wedding MBA or Shannon at Wedding MBA. Just ask the conference directly. They do also have a Facebook group for Wedding MBA specifically. So that might be a good place to ask that question where they can get back to you. Is it allowed to make short videos from the sessions with no voice recording to make Insta Reels? Girl, you can take my voice recording. I don't really care. Record, share, just tag the educators. That's all we want. Like, definitely take advantage of the fact that even on your business social media page, people, your customers, your clients, your couples, they love to know that you're going to get educated and learning new things. So share your best takeaways, tag the educators, because that also, like, I don't know, as a teacher, it stands out because I remember your name more often.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do we have, this is a great question. Do you have for any other countries the state badges? I am going to tell you that after this, I'm probably not going to be able to find the countries, but I'm going to hunt through the internets to find ones that say international. And if not, I'm probably going to custom order them at this time. So we'll just say international. I can't do every country because there's like 17 different countries that are coming, but I will order international ones. If I can't find them to buy them, I will order them for you. Any tips? Let's throw this one to Ian on when you own multiple wedding businesses. We're a venue, a wedding planner, and a mobile bar.
Tips just in general?
Yeah.
I would say if you're bringing team members, what Shannon mentioned about dividing and conquering is going to be key. I think the second step to that question would be, what are you trying to get out of the conference? What are your specific goals? What are your specific pain points? So if you own multiple businesses, number one, I would take a look at who's on your team that can benefit from what. And then number two, what are your specific goals? Because there may be a time slot where there's not really a venue specific session that's important to me. So I'm going to go over here and go to the planning one instead. So take a look at the session schedule, look at the descriptions and see, is this a pain point that I have right now? Can they help my business? If the answer is yes, maybe you go there instead of going to the venue track session or the planning session. I think specifically for mobile bar services, all of y'all are going to have the ability to attend the general business sessions, right? The things that apply to everyone. So hitting up those specific sessions, but those would be my recommendations since you own multiple businesses.
Perfect. Okay. Is there any way to meet with others, first timers or experienced who are attending a lone Facebook group? Keep in mind what Ian said about posting on your regular social media, even now, even on your personal social and Facebook and stuff, to say, "Hey, I'm going to Wedding MBA. Who else is going?" You will be shocked. I know I had seen Erica in here, and she asked some good questions. Erica is in my market in Orlando, and she happened to mention like that she was going in passing, and I was like, "Oh, girl, do you need help? What do you need? Come to this." She's not a venue. She plays an amazing guitar and does music at weddings. But I was like, oh, just come to this session because I'll give you all the tips either way. So post on your social and start having that conversation to see. You might be shocked who's already in your market to be able to do it. But take advantage of like come early if you're going to be there on that Tuesday. Come early for badge pickup. I promise you, there is a Facebook group for Wedding MBA. And then so you can like post in there who else is coming, first timers, or I'm coming by myself, who else wants to connect. It might be a good way for you to start those conversations in there because that will be a lot of people who are attending. But also head over to the venue group because everybody who's here, I'm assuming you're going to want to catch this replay, come join the group, post over in there and, start building those connections all the way through. Let's see. Easy one. Do people bring laptops to take notes? I already answered it down in the chat, but yeah, laptops, notebooks, tablets,
All of it.
however you are the most efficient. I am the slowest writer. In college, I was a rock star, but now I'm 40. So I am a fast typer though. So I really like to be able to take notes and star things and highlight and bold stuff of the things I have to go back to. Is there a floral specific group for the Wedding MBA? I don't think there's a group, but I think there's a track in terms of education.
There is a track.
Perfect. Tom, I have a question for you. What would you tell? So somebody asked this question, which session would you recommend for a brand new outdoor venue that opened this year? So think about anybody who's like brand new venue going for the first time and they're like, what session should I go to? What would you recommend for them? What would you tell them, Tom?
Typically, I mean, I would go to all the venues, brand new I mean, you got to go to them all, but like, follow the money, right? Like, sales first, and you might love to create the events and plan the events and all that, but there's nothing to plan if you're struggling in getting leads and booking and sales and tours. So brand new venues, follow the money. I would go to the money, the sales, the marketing, the tours, the leads, all those things that lead to you to actually book an event that you can do it.
Yeah, I love it. I knew you'd have the right answers. That's why I tricked you.
I know. I'm glad I had the right answer for you. Put me on the spot. But all the time, I tell all categories, follow the money. You might love being a florist, but if you're not selling anything, there's nothing to produce.
Right.
So you gotta follow the money.
Okay, what if we're unable to make it to badge pickup by 5 on Tuesday? We'll still get our badges. Yeah, at any point you can walk up. There's going to be a different spot on the Tuesday. There's like a really big long line and a huge, because most people are coming that day. But if you're coming on Wednesday or you have to come at a different time, you're just going to head over and look for like their help desk and their like infos, and you'll be able to get your badge there. So that's an easy peasy one. What about contracts? Are there any simple contracts? Oh, you should reach out to Leah at Udeberg. I'm going to drop her website into the chat. They are attorneys. They do have some templates, do have some things they can help you review contracts you already have. They understand the venue stuff. And honestly, they're one of their team. When they've got questions, sometimes they'll call Ian and call me and be like, or I want to make sure that this applies to all. We don't know the legal terminology, but we can kind of walk through them, some of the suggestions and things like that. And then the last question, are the theaters set up theater or classroom? This is a really good one. I thought, Tom, you've got to jump. I know you have another call. So Tom had to scoop, but are the sessions set up theater or classroom? This is a really important one. So when you go into the rooms, when you're in the big, huge rooms, sometimes they have a table and some of them are just rows of chairs. So that's something important for you to keep in mind. I joke and say, don't dilly-dally in between sessions. Meaning like when a session is over, like head right to and go to the bathroom if you have to, but head right to the next room because I'm one of those people who likes a table and a place to put my computer.
Dude.
So I come in, scoot right in, make sure I grab a seat. If you're in a session that finishes a few minutes early, you can head over to your next space. And I'm going to give you one more tip. This is so naughty, but I'm going to say it anyways. Sometimes you plan a schedule and you plan to go to a session. I usually like to sit about midway and not any closer than that because sometimes you get really excited about a description and unfortunately the session just doesn't meet what you were expecting. That does not happen in my session and Ian's sessions or from anybody from Wedding Pro. But some of the speakers, sometimes that description might not exactly match up, or you realize, oh, this isn't what I need and it's not targeted at me, which is why I was saying, like, when you're picking your sessions, don't pick one, pick two in each time slot. So you have like your primary, your secondary backup just in case. Do not sit in the room for 45 minutes for a session that you don't want to be in. If you're finding that it's not matching your needs, do not hesitate to get up, leave, and go to the next room. I promise you, people are like, I don't want to be rude to the speakers. There's 1,000 people in that room. I mean, it doesn't phase me at all. I want you guys to get, all of us here at Venue Help Desk want you to get the best that you can out of this conference. So, like, don't hesitate to get up and leave. Anything else, Ian or Paul, that you think that we missed and didn't, or if anybody has any questions, now's your last chance to ask them because we went through all of them.
Beautiful, Bueller. I know we went a little over today. If you have additional questions, feel free to join the Facebook group. Of course, as Shannon mentioned, you can ask those questions there. You can also email us directly at hello@venuehelpdesk.com. That's an easy way for us to be able to help you and set you up success for the Wedding MBA in Las Vegas next month. If there aren't any other questions, we are excited to see you in Las Vegas next month. We've got a little homage here to our famous Las Vegas sign, the only GIF of the whole presentation, which is so surprising for those of you that know us. But we had to end it with a bang. Once again, thank you everybody for joining us for the Power Hour. For those of you that are first timers, you are in for such a treat at Wedding MBA. For those of you that are going for a second, third, fourth, you're a seasoned pro. We're so excited to welcome you back and see you not only in our sessions in the hallways, but also at the Venue Help Desk booth so we can help your venue.
Awesome.
All
Well,
right.
we're excited to have you. I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll see you over in the Facebook group. And like Ian mentioned, if you need anything or we didn't answer any of your questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and we're happy to help you.